What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning on in to the channel. Hope everybody's doing good out there. Tobin here with you. If you want the Tobin and Leroy show, please go to the description in the link in the description there. Click on that. Takes you to youtube.com/theticketmiami. That is where you guys can find the Tobin and Leroy show, our clips and everything that's going on there. Lots of fun and shenanigans there to get to every single day. Had a fun little day yesterday. I was boots on the ground over at Miami Dolphins camp, which was a delight. It was good to see football back in action. Been there now back-to-back weeks. Went there for OTAs and stuck around for a little bit. Didn't stick around for the whole time. I went for McCochin's press conference, Mike McDaniel, and then I went over and watched the early versions of individual drills and things like that. There was no Tua there. It was the day where he was sick. So it was cool yesterday for a couple of reasons. One, it was start of mini camp. So you had more people there involved. Everybody was pretty much there outside of like the veterans who aren't all the way back. Teron Armstead. Melvin Ingram was there, but he wasn't doing work other than individual stuff. Bye Jones, he is still doing his rehab, and Raheem Mostert. So a lot of those highly recognizable veterans weren't in action. But for the most part, everybody was there doing their thing, which was cool. I still love the vibe of Mike McDaniel, what he's bringing to Miami Dolphins camp. The pep in his step, you can just tell it's all very new to him as far as like the enthusiasm he seems to bring. I don't know what that's going to be like during the regular season if the Dolphins hit a rut, but for right now, it definitely seems like it's a really, really positive influence all around the team. And the thing that's very, very interesting about it is having the head coach be involved with the offense as directly as he is. We haven't seen that, that's been on the other side of it. Brian Flores, who would be, kind of perusing around and everything. I don't want to make it seem like Flores was completely ignoring the offense. But, now you have a situation where Mike McDaniel is actively calling in the plays, has his walkie-talkie, to do awesome stuff, over, and is sending that on in. It's a much different vibe. It's an interesting dynamic that they have going on as compared to what we had just a year ago, where Tua Tagovailoa's got like 9 people. Godsey, Stoodsville, Fry. Who's calling the plays? Remember, they wouldn't tell us who the plays were last year? This was like a huge thing throughout training camp. The Dolphins refused to say, who's calling the plays? Oh, well, we have a process, and we don't want to divulge. Like it was like almost like the Dolphins were worried like Godsey's iPhone was going to get hacked, that somebody was going to be in there and they were going to be able to dupe Stoodsville or dupe Charlie Fry. And so we never knew who was supposed to say what. And I think at one point, like Tua said Fry was calling in the plays, but that had to be switched, and they had to switch the system, and they went in a rut and all that type of stuff. And then Tua eventually got hurt, comes back. It was just it was a whole to-do. You know what it was? A whole to-do. It was too much to have to deal with. And so now we seemingly like have a one straight line into it's Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel is calling the plays. And there was an interesting thing. There was an interesting article that came out from all places, Muscle and Fitness. Now, I saw this on Dolphins Reddit. I was like, when I saw these quotes from Tua, I was like, where the hell is this from? Muscle and Fitness. So he was doing this like as a little plug for Muscle Milk, which can be delicious and quite filling if you need something as a meal supplement. Not that they are paying bills or anything. Just an aside. I've dabbled in the Muscle Milk before. And Tua had some interesting things to say in this, where he's was talking about his short off season, and he says, we've been in the building a lot earlier than expected just because of the new head coach, Mike McDaniel. We've been in the building since April 4th, I believe, and really haven't left. It was a short off season because April 4th hit. We're all in the building, and probably most guys have seen it's been the most guys have seen in OTAs. I think guys want to feel out the new coach, the system, the individuals. Guys are excited and want to come to the building. They hear the good things about the coaches and want a glimpse for themselves, and I think that's a testament to Mike McDaniel as well as the coaching staff. He says, I'm very excited. Everyone in the building is excited. And a couple of the OTA practices we've had against the defense have been real eye-openers as a team. You can catch a glimpse of how good we can be as a team. But football is one of the most humbling sports. You can never get too comfortable or too high. It will always humble you. But we're really excited around here and continue to take it one day at a time. So a couple of things are intriguing about that. One is we continue to hear just how everybody really likes what the new coach is bringing to the table as far as energy is concerned and atmosphere is concerned, a little bit more high energy, players coach, and you're hearing a lot of like the negative stuff that's coming out with Brian Flores, and that's something that I do expect. Every time a guy leaves, oh, what an awful regime it was, oh, how terrible it was here, oh, we couldn't get used to this, that, and the other. But to hear that the quarterback is getting excited about what he has, that is a big deal because we know that it felt very much like at the end, Brian Flores, Tua Tagovailoa, not that great a relationship, maybe not the worst, but certainly not the best. And to have your guy who there was questions are they going to invest in him? Are they going to go back with him? Are they going to go here, there, the other? Everything is scrutinized. We saw this with Underthrow Gate with the Twitter video that came out. Everybody went crazy over it. So now he really feels like he has a coach that is backing him. And I feel like that sentiment is mutual. I feel like that. I really like the thing about Mike McDaniel is, one, I think he gives you a little bit more of the praise onto just players directly. One of these things with Flores is like you ever ask him a question about a player, it was just like you have to mention every tit for tat player before you could even get to a roundabout. It was such a droning way of just trying to get normal answers. I feel like Mike McDaniel's just a little bit more. He'll answer your question directly. Now he can be a little bit long-winded too, but it'll be in relation to what was actually asked about him. Like for example, Barry Jackson asked him about like Mike Gesicki yesterday and the things that he likes Mike Gesicki is improving upon. And Mike McDaniel was, he gave pretty good stuff on where he thinks things stand with Mike Gesicki and what he can bring to the table.
As far as Mike Gesicki, he's been as impressive as any player on the team in terms of going after a challenge. He hasn't. You guys probably could rattle off the stats, but 3-point wasn't his primary position, and he's been working diligently in the run and pass game to do things that this offense can feature without taking away the stuff that has made him who he is. And there's pieces of that in the offense, as we're always tailoring what we do to the skill set of our players. But he's really attacked it with full vigor and has really done a great job working on his footwork in the run game, and hoping that carries over to pads when that happens.
So like going into the direction of just like actually, hey, this is where we do think that he can improve and where things can get better for him. I feel like it would be like if you asked that to Brian Flores, it'd be like, Mike Gesicki is improving. They're all improving. All of our tight ends. Durham Smythe is improving. Hunter Long is improving. And you just would never really kind of understand on what they were actually doing for that. And this is Mike McDaniel's baby. It's his offense. He's trying to roll with it. But I do feel like you do get a sense so far, and it is early camp, so you got to take all this stuff with a caveat. It is June. It was June 1st yesterday when I was boots on the ground. June 2nd is the second day of mandatory mini camp. Tua will talk on that day, supposedly, and people will get a whole pulse of him. I will say for what was seen yesterday at mini camp, it wasn't like the most impressive day in the world. Football practice can be a bit odd in that, like, you don't know what specific situations they're working on. Like, what are they doing? Things that are scripted, unscripted? Are they trying to implement something? Are they trying to teach something? I know, like, at one point, like, they wanted us to shoot away from the offense because they were working on something specifically, and then the shooting period ends, and they're going all into team stuff. So I think that that always has to be realized, is that this is an offense that is getting put in and implemented all together. So if a defense has a better day and they're making plays on certain things, I don't think that's necessarily surprising. And I do think that one of the things that's been cool is we wonder how this offensive line is going to come together and how things are going to look. And McDaniel was talking about the idea of Austin Jackson at right tackle. He seems pretty pleased with the results thus far.
Been pretty pumped about how all the guys have really gone after the techniques, and we're really focusing on some position versatility right now. And when Austin Jackson is playing right tackle, been very pleased because he's approaching it the way that the only way you can get better as a player, and that's complete commitment to it. So there's some things that it's we're asking people to do hard things at an elite level, so you try to do it over and over and over, and he's diligently attacking that. So the more live bullets that we get for him at every position that he'll play, the better.
So this is all very intriguing because for a couple of reasons. One, everybody was pretty pleased last year with Chris Grier's draft class, with what obviously what Jalen Waddle did, record-breaking year. Jalen Phillips really comes on in the second half of the year. Javon Holland, fantastic. But that first class where they had the multiple draft picks with Tua, Austin Jackson, and Noah Igbenogany, a lot of guys, three guys with a lot to prove. Tua, obviously the most scrutinized out of everybody and maybe has had the most hurdles to deal with. Austin Jackson, they kind of bailed on him at left tackle from the first year, put him to left guard after his rookie year. And then with Noah's barely been getting on the field. Now, the intriguing thing has been that, Noah was getting a lot of praise, had some good plays in practice yesterday. Xavier Howard was praising him yesterday. So that's pretty cool to hear. He's also, I think he's only 22 right now. So maybe there is something left in old Noah Igbenogany. I think that would be pretty cool if they can get anything out of him. But hearing that they're trying to take the pieces that they have here. Obviously, they got Teron Armstead, and that's locked in at left tackle. But the youth that they have in that offensive line, with the more experience, if they could just find the right spots, maybe there could be something here. Want to get to one final thing, though, here. This was interesting. So Tua Tagovailoa in this interview with Muscle and Fitness, which is hilarious to me, Tua threw a little bit of shade, which I like seeing. This kind of made me happy because Tua's always such a nice guy and always just seems like he doesn't want to take shots at anybody. And he may talk to me today and maybe ask about this, may apologize. may send Godsey an edible arrangement or something like that. I don't know. But he was asked about his off-season goals. And he says, one of the biggest things was building my foundation back up, my feet, my core, my arm strength. So he was doing that. They're doing the offensive system, all that type of stuff. But he gets to this point where he says, I've seen improvements on being able to push the ball down the field once again. I honestly think it's just practice. I wasn't really able to push the ball down the field last year because we didn't have plays specifically to push the ball down the field. A lot of the plays that we called last year are meant for one person, and either this person was open or the play might be dead. It's a little different now. My second year was different than my rookie year, and this year will be different than last year. We'll see how we're doing things. I definitely feel a lot more confident being able to push the ball down the field, and it's going to be exciting. So I like that for a couple of reasons. One, because we know one of the most scrutinized things, oddly for Tua, has been that he doesn't have an arm, that he can't push the ball down the field, that this can't be a guy who can get you the bombs, that having a guy like Tyreek Hill on this team is a waste, all that type of stuff. The fact that he is saying, listen, you guys can put it on me if you want to, but the facts are there were issues with the play calling last year, just like we thought that there were the rookie year, where everything was where Chan Gailey was basically putting him in a box. So I think that the idea of the weapons being better, Lord, hopefully healthier than they were last year with Devontae Parker and Will Fuller. The idea that you have a direct line of communication between Tua and the head coach, that being your guy who's going to be calling the offensive plays, the relationship seeming like it's off to a really, really good start. And also, listen, if those things are true about Tua's dedication off the field, all that type of stuff, hopefully that's some maturity that is cinched up and that he is in a better spot and that he does take this opportunity where it feels like he has been given a fresh start from the head coach and takes full advantage of it. And it definitely feels like they're trying to put every reason for him being the guy and giving him the chance to be the guy. And that's what you want. If you're a professional athlete, you want, and especially a quarterback and a highly picked quarterback, will they put you in a position to succeed? All the good stuff and the right stuff has been started right now. And I think that he probably knows that that's on him now. But even still, a guy who really never sticks up for himself and never really takes shots at anybody, because even the year where with Chan Gailey, I felt in a lot of ways like he could have thrown Chan Gailey under the bus easily, but he didn't. He really took a lot of the onus on him and said, no, it was not on me knowing the playbook and this, that, and the other. To be a little bit feisty, be like, listen, this wasn't just an idea of, I can't throw the ball down the field. That wasn't what we were planning for. So I'm definitely intrigued. I'm excited football is back. Sad that basketball is over, but I think this is going to be a very, very intriguing Dolphins season.